So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're joined by Nick Wolf, and he's part of the duo called Nick and June. And they're a indie pop, dream pop duo from Germany who just released an EP in the 12th of May called Beach Baby Baby. So I'm joined by Nick. Today we're all gonna talk about the EP, music, and other things. So first of all, Nick, how are you?
Thanks for having me. Of course, I'm fine. Thank you. I'm feeling great.
Good, good. So for people that don't know the band, what do you do with in Nick and June? And tell us a bit about what the sound of Nick and June.
The sound of Nick and June. Well, it's always kind of hard to describe, your own sound. But I guess, yeah, we are a duo. Mostly I guess we're like indie folk. Sometimes a bit more like lo-fi or singer-songwriter stuff. Sometimes it's a bit more dream pop or a bit shoegazy, maybe. Yeah, like this. I would try to describe our music.
Yeah, I would describe it. Yeah, there's dream pop to it. Uh, it would be more like if I had to say shoegaze, more of that dreamy side of shoegaze, not the
Yeah,
distortion
sure.
side, more the dreamy side of shoegaze. And I know that you guys have two previous albums that you released a few years ago, and then you took a break when the pandemic happened, and now you just released this EP. So, what can you tell us about Beach Baby Baby? Like about the EP, what were you going for in terms of sound?
Yeah, I guess it's quite different to our previous records, I guess. As you mentioned, we had the last record some years ago, and at this time we were a lot of on tour. We played whatever 100 concerts a year, and yeah, and then we really needed this kind of a break, like like a creative break, or also like mentally, I guess. Well, I speak for myself, but at least I was really like, I need whatever, to do something else, for a couple of months. And then we had, I guess, 1 year or even a bit more than 1 year. We had nothing with Nick and June, was totally a break. And yeah, we had then just a tour, actually, like a small comeback tour, in Germany. And yeah, then the pandemic starts, I mean, the tour starts in early March 2020. And then, as you can imagine, we were for 1 week, we were on tour. And yeah, everything was canceled, of course. And that was a strange situation, like for everybody. And actually, there was a plan to make a third record, and also like in a bit like a band or record, or like from the sound here a bigger sound record. And well, we started to make this record. We started to produce it, demos and stuff like this. Of course, at this point we just did it on our own, just home recording stuff. And yeah, after a couple of months, I guess we decided, okay, that a next full record just makes sense for us. At the point, we have absolutely no idea, can we go to a studio, to a real studio, can we record it, is it then possible, what is always was really important for us, to go on tour with a new record. We have no idea if this is possible then, in support of the album or a new album. And yeah, then we decided actually to make this EP, the small album, mini album thingy, where we had kind of a different approach to it, kind of a different starting point. Most of the stuff, we produced on our own, also separately. We don't live in the same city, so it was like like just with iPhone recordings and GarageBand. And Susie writes a song and sends me over via WhatsApp, and I listen to it and I say, yeah, that's great, let me try something. And with stuff like this, so it was really different, of course, to the way we made or wrote music before. And I guess you hear this also in the sound. Then of course we also went to a studio, but not to a big one. It's just like a home studio, because we wanted to have this kind of aesthetic, like this home recording, lo-fi aesthetic. Also, we used a lot of different instruments. We used a lot of like whatever tiny instruments, tiny percussion stuff. On the whole EP, you don't hear a full drum set, for example. You know, it's
No.
all the drum sounds is like drum machine or some whatever, some percussion stuff you play, stuff like this, you know. And I guess this is exactly what we wanted to do with this EP. You know, we wanted to have this kind of a tiny lo-fi indie dreamy sound thingy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I like how on this EP, like both you and Susie trade the vocals because both of you have can both sing, so that's good. So because you're a duo, so it's good that both of you can take the singing duties. So this EP has, I believe, two covers. You have "Can't Help Falling in Love" by Elvis Presley. For years, that I actually thought that that was a UB40 song.
No, for real.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
And then I'm like, no, that was a cover because that was the one that I listened to in the 90s, the Elvis Presley's one.
Okay.
And you have Starman by David Bowie as well that finishes the EP. Why did you pick those two covers in particular?
Yeah, well, the thing was on our normal records, we have, of course, just original songs, you know, just songs we wrote. And for this EP, I told you, you know, we had a kind of a different history of the whole thing. And then we also want to do something special, you know. Then was the plan actually to do one cover song, you know, and we kind of searched for it. And you know, like I guess always when you search for something, you know, you don't find it, you don't reach your goal, you know. And then it was more or less by accident, you know, like the Elvis cover was really like I just played it randomly. It was I'm pretty sure I played the wrong chords. I also played the wrong measures, whatever. Randomly, I played the song, you know, and you know, at a rehearsal or whatever. And yeah, and Susie said immediately, "Hey, that's cool. I like, you know, this darky whatever sound of this cover version. Let's try it." You know, we had never in mind to do an Elvis Presley cover, you know, like.
Yeah, it sounds more
And
depressing, your cover.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's kind of a different vibe, I guess. Yeah, but but I hope nevertheless people like it. And yeah, the David Bowie thing actually. Yeah, Susie is a huge David Bowie fan. You know, since she was a little kid, and she had always the plan. Well, once in my lifetime, I'm doing a David Bowie cover, and it was also in the middle of the pandemic, whatever. And she just sent me like with GarageBand a project with the chords and with like whatever arpeggios or synths, and you know, and she just sang the chorus, and I said, okay, I love it, we have to do it. It was really, I had to convince her to do it because she said no, I don't like it, and I can't do a David Bowie
Yeah,
cover, at
it's
least
an
not now.
iconic
I actually
song
want to do.
from it's Starman from the Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. So yeah, it's from like it's an iconic song from an iconic
Absolutely,
album.
it's a huge one, of course. Yeah. And really, I convinced her over weeks, you know, because actually then we already recorded the Elvis one, and we said, yeah, just one cover is fine for the EP. But I say, no, we have to do it. Come on, let's try it. And at the moment, by the way, I have the same kind of. I need to convince her that we play it live, you know. But it's the same point. I say, come on, let's play it live. It's a great, cool arrangement for also the band setting on stage. But she says no at the moment, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure maybe give
Well,
me
you
2 or 3
should
more months.
yeah, you should play that now that you have done the EP. Like for
Absolutely.
future releases, will you consider doing more covers in the future?
No, I don't think so. I mean, at the moment we are working on a new record, you know, and I hope we can also produce it and record it maybe this year in autumn. You know, that's at least the plan. And then we definitely, yeah, definitely no cover versions, with no cover versions on it, but maybe in the future, like when we do like a B-side for a 7-inch, you know, or like an EP, then maybe it would be an opportunity to do another cover version. So
Yeah.
if you have a good suggestion, yeah, let me know.
If you could do any cover, like what cover would you think would mesh well with the sound of Nick and June?
Oh, that's also a good question. That's a really good question, because of course, when we do a cover, it's always the idea, you know, to change, you know, change the original version to our sound and to our aesthetic, of course. Let me think. Give me 10 seconds. I mean, I'm a huge Beatles fan, of course, but to be honest, I can't imagine that there is a Beatles song which we can do in this Nick and June thingy. So I guess live always we once did a national cover, like really stripped down, like acoustically. But I guess I can't give you a final answer to this, I guess.
Yeah, maybe we'll go back to it later on, and you might think
Exactly.
about it. So
Exactly.
the EP has original tunes as well, and I like some of the like I think one of the first singles that you released for this was Hugh Grant and His Consequence, and I really wanted to talk about that song in particular because obviously
Yeah,
Hugh
sure.
Grant, for people who weren't born in the '90s, he was very huge in the '90s as an actor, but he got caught with a hooker
Yeah,
in
yeah,
in
exactly.
California, and his girlfriend was Elizabeth Hurley. So until this day, I can't imagine what the fuck was happening through his mind because the
Absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea.
so
Yeah.
what like I was reading in the promo that you have a lot of songs on DCP that are that the inspiration is movies. So,
Yeah.
for example, Hugh Grant and His Consequence. I'm guessing it's inspired by that what happened to him that he got arrested because of that. But like, give me more of the backstory of that song in particular.
Okay, I try to. Well, first of all, I guess you're right for this EP, it was the whole pandemic situation, the COVID situation. We had a lot of time, we were on our own and whatever. And I guess we watched a lot of movies, and read a lot of books and whatever. So that was a huge influence for a lot of things, also for the whole aesthetic of for the lyrics, for the stories, and also for music video stuff and whatever. And Hugh Grant, I think the Hugh Grant thing, the trope is the Hugh Grant trope. It's so funny, like if you know some of Hugh Grant movies, it's really funny actually that he always plays the same character. I mean, it's like he's like the charming, funny, whatever, but also a bit whatever guy
But
in
kind
literally
of a
every
prick
movie.
because he's
Yeah,
English.
exactly. I mean, he is always the same. This plays always the same character, and so this trope, was a funny thing for us, and we thought, okay, can we play with this trope? And the whole song itself, it's kind of a well, let me say, a kind of a coming of age story. It's like the person, the person thinks about her past, thinks about how he grew up, what he did wrong, what went good or whatever, you know, and then that really fits good in our mind or matches good, with the whole trope of Hugh Grant. So that was the starting point that we think, oh, it's like a funny thing, it's like a funny thing to use this name because everybody has immediately some different associations, and a lot of people, know different Hugh Grant movies, and there is some immediately some images in your mind. And also I guess with you, I mean, when you read the Hugh Grant His Consequences thingy,
I just
you have
went straight to
immediately
the
some
dirty stuff.
yeah, I see, yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's a song about whatever, growing old and finding oneself. And yeah, and that really was for us like a funny and also maybe kind of misleading, of course, but like a funny point to start, to write the lyrics to the song.
Yeah. No, it's a song title that catches your eye. I'm like Hugh Grant and His Consequence. I'm like, I'm like, I wonder what this is about. So now that we're talking Hugh Grant, which one is your favorite Hugh Grant movie?
Oh, I guess that's Actually Love. You know this one?
Which one?
Is it called Actually Love or Love
Love
Actually?
Actually.
Oh, Love Actually. Okay, I didn't know exactly the English title.
Yeah,
In
yeah, I
German it's
remember that
different,
one
of
where
course.
he.
Yeah, then it's Love Actually, I guess. It's like this Christmas thingy movie. I like it.
Yeah,
With the
yeah,
with
he
the
plays
one.
like a prime minister that has.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that there is, I guess, the scene where he dances, right? Where he dances in the
Yeah.
Westminster
Yeah.
or Big Ben or whatever. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
this is a nice one. Maybe I should watch it again next Christmas. I do it next Christmas. I will watch the movie.
Yeah, it's a Christmas movie, but I'm sorry, Nick, there's one better Christmas movie than that. That is the ultimate Christmas movie, and that's Die Hard.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. But should I tell you something? I have never Die Hard.
You have never watched Die Hard?
No,
You need to
never watched
see
it.
it. So on the next Nick and June album, you can write a song about like maybe Bruce Willis and 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 his
Okay.
bare feet. Because in
Okay,
the movie he's in
great.
bare feet the whole movie. So you need to watch Die Hard. It will
Okay,
change your
I
life
promise. I will do, and I will later. I will ask Susie if she ever
if she
watched
ever
it.
watched
You
it.
know.
So yeah, other songs on the album, other singles that you have is Anything But Time. It's like a shorter. There's a lot of dream pop of that song. Uh, the lyrics to this EP, when you're writing lyrics, do you handle lyrics, or does Susie handle some lyrics, or do you work on lyrics together?
We definitely of course both write the lyrics. Sometimes also together. Sometimes we have this kind of thing that the one of us, has a good starting point, has an idea, or paints the first pictures, the first sentences, and yeah, I had this in mind. We can create a character like this in the song, and then the other person, continues with it. Some songs are also were written like this. But of course, there are also songs which more or less Susie wrote completely on her own, and more or less I wrote on my own. Yeah, but in
What about
general,
Anything But Time? Did you both work on that, or was that Susie for that one?
we both worked on that. But the whole story, the whole idea, and the whole images in the song are Susie's. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have interesting titles like Manic Pixie Dream Girl and Lip Sync to Love Song. So yeah, you guys were those titles are very catchy that you have
Thanks.
for that one. On this EP for you, which one is your like the song for you that is your favorite, and which one was the hardest to record and work on?
Oh, good question. I guess. Well, of course, I like all of them. I'm really proud of all of them, but I guess the favorite one is maybe Lip Sync to Love Songs.
Yeah,
Maybe
that
this the
was like
one.
more dream shoegazy a little bit on that one.
Exactly. Yeah. I guess this is at the moment my favorite one of the EP. I also really like to play live, I really with the drum machine and stuff like this. I really like it. And what was the hardest to work on? I guess maybe it was the Hugh Grant. I guess we had a lot of demos of the Hugh Grant thingy, also with different lyrics. I mean, we wrote on these lyrics over months, and just changes here, one word and one sentence here and whatever, with different instrumentations and arrangements. So maybe that was the one what was the hardest. Not in a negative way, of course. I really like also. I love to work and also to write on songs over a longer time. Also really interesting. It says a lot about the song itself or about the own person. Because like every day or every week you have a different perspective on the song and a different point of view. So it's also really interesting. So I actually really like it. But that might be, yeah, I guess that was the hardest one. Yeah, to work on.
Yeah. So I actually thought of like maybe a band that you could cover in the future that would maybe make sense for the type of music that you have. Maybe you could cover a Depeche Mode song,
Oh, yeah.
but you have to stay away from Enjoy the Silence
Okay,
and
of course.
because it's being covered to death. And
Yeah,
which
yeah,
ones
yeah.
And Personal Jesus, those two songs they
Hmm.
cover too much. You would need to pick like a different one.
Okay,
But yeah, I
yeah,
think Depeche Mode
noted.
would would blend well with the type of music that you guys play. So I'm gonna show the EP cover for Beach Baby Baby. It's cool cover because it looks like the model that you use on that cover looks like an actress from the 30s or 40s, which I think is some of the aesthetic that you're trying to get on this EP, like a old school music. Is that what you were trying to do with the cover?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this cover artwork is also from a music video we did for the EP, for the music video for Anything But Time. And you know, we had, as I mentioned before, this whole movie aesthetic, whatever, in our mind. And then we also, yeah, we immediately we said, okay, we also want to have this the artwork of the vinyl and stuff. It should be like, you know, like a poster for an old movie, you know, from a whatever, if it's a 50s or 60s or whatever movie exactly. Yeah, but that was exactly what we had in mind. True.
Yeah. And for very young kids, that is a phone, okay?
Exactly. Yeah.
They'll be like, what the hell is that contraption? That's a phone. That's an old school phone. Where you that when you really wanted to call someone, you had to put your finger and dial all the numbers. And yeah, I remember those phones. I actually had a phone like that back in my home in the 80s, so I can remember that. So
Okay.
who's the model on the cover?
That's Maya. That's Maya. Susie found her. Let's say it found her, and she's from Berlin. And yeah, we shot shot the movie, the music video in Berlin. And yeah, she was immediately, you know, into the whole idea. And yeah, it was a great music video shot. It was a lot of fun, and she was amazing. I don't know if you have watched the music video. She's really amazing, and her
Yeah,
whole
I'm gonna post
aesthetic, you know,
the
everything.
clip so people can watch that music video for Anything But Time. So yeah, it's a very cool song. So yeah, I like the cover. So as you mentioned, uh, is the vinyl already out, or is the vinyl being pre-ordered at the moment? Because I know this was released on 5/12, but I'm not sure if it
Exactly.
was.
No. The vinyl is here. Yeah, unfortunately,
Okay.
we're already selling it. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
So I'll put the link for people who want to buy the vinyl, get the music.
Oh yeah, it's really, yeah,
If you
and the
have it
artwork
right there,
cover.
let's see
Yeah,
it.
of course. Look at it like this. It's nice, right?
Yeah, it is nice.
It's a blue vinyl, by the way, with the lyrics here, and it's the first colored vinyl we ever made. Yeah,
Oh,
like,
nice. Yeah, it looks pretty. It looks pretty.
of course. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, but it's already, as you see, it's already here. Yeah.
So it's already here. So people, if you want to get it, I'm gonna post the link. So people, if you want to buy it, I would recommend Nick and June for people who like feel music, dreamy pop. Just to it's good music to relax to, and have a glass of wine and unwind. So before you were saying that you're working on new material right now. What direction are you taking this new material in? Can you give us
Uh,
like a hint?
Good question. A really good question. I guess it's maybe kind of more extreme. I guess we will have on the record also more like band songs or rock songs, or more like alternative rock songs, you know, with
Yeah, you say extreme, but not extreme like a Cannibal Corpse kind of sound.
no. I mean it. I mean it. Like, I guess we will have more songs on it, which are pretty more going forward. You know, like whatever. We're both extremely fans of the National, for example, but also on the record, we go on to pretty sure into different directions again, and we will have a lot of maybe more like melancholic ones, like stripped down ones, you know, like deep ones or darker ones or stuff like this. Yeah, I guess that could be the direction,
Yeah,
but who
that
knows?
sounds like a
Who
good
knows?
direction. Yeah. So Nick, before I let you go, right now, in terms of new music, what are you currently spinning? Like what new music's new bands or new music is inspiring you at this moment?
Oh,
It
that
can
is
be
a
old music
really,
too.
That is a really good question. In a lot of interviews, people ask this, and every time, I answer it with different stuff. Because apparently yesterday night, for example, I listened to the Antlers,
The
and also
Antlers.
do you know the Antlers? It's a band
Uh,
from
yeah, I don't know
from
them.
from New York, I guess. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm pretty sure you will like it. It's like a bit slowcore, like a bit, of course, also shoegazy, dream pop, whatever. Yeah, in the last week, I listened to two or three of the records of the Antlers, so I really love them at the moment. They had also, when I was whatever 5, 6, 7 years younger, they had a huge influence also in my songwriting. So I'm a big fan. I really like at the moment what I'm listening to Mount Erie. You know Mount Erie?
No, no, I'm gonna check these
I
bands
guess
out.
the
No,
other day, Jesus and the Mary Jane. Some days ago, I listened to the Jesus and the Mary Jane.
that one I know.
Great. Let me think. What is my favorite? Boy Genius. I really like the new Boy Genius record as well.
Oh, I actually reviewed that album here on the channel with a friend of
Oh,
mine.
really?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yes, it's pretty interesting. I knew Phoebe Bridges. I didn't know the other artists, but yeah,
Okay.
it's a very good album. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I also like the new Nashville album, for example. I also really like it, and but of course, always listen also to a lot of classics like, yeah, Beatles. Velvet Underground. I love the Velvet Underground. Velvet Underground is always good. Beach Boys, Kings. I mean, Kings were also a huge influence, I guess, regarding the lyrics for our Beach Baby Baby EP. I guess I really like the style he writes his lyrics. So Kings is always great. Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds like a good variation of music. So, Nick, I hope you have a great rest of your day over there in Germany. And people,
thanks.
I will post the Nick and June for the if you want to get the EP, it's out now on vinyl. So if you want to support the band, you can do so there. And also support you like more independent music because independent music needs help too. And I know that you independently release this because that takes it's it's a lot of effort and a lot of time and things that people behind the scenes don't get to see. So anything you would like to say before we go to the people who watch this video?
Have a great day, of course. Have a great day. Listen to Beach Baby Baby, and we hope you like it. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
people, yeah,
Have a nice.
yeah. So people, until next time, this is Hector, the shield dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.